Hi, y'all. I'm Allison. I am so psyched by the level of enthusiasm y'all have for my latest idea, our new little endeavor that we're going to be doing together, and that is the Stop and Start Buddy Reads. So, Buddy Reads with a twist, because we're not just going to read the book and comment on it together. Nope. We are going to time block this puppy. We had our little game and found our winner, which was The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. And this one was recommended by Expedition Through Pages. Now, if you missed the other two previous videos, don't worry, there's still plenty of time for you to grab a copy and join in with us right from the get-go. And if you stumble on this later and want to read the book and spoil and comment along with everybody else, then that's okay too, because that's the main reason I wanted to do this in video format, to where no matter at what point you come in with your book, with it being in video, hopefully you will feel like you were right there with me whenever I picked it up. At least that's the theory. That's what we're going to be testing. And we're also going to take it up a level by adding forced stopping points. Because with time blocking some of my books, I've noticed that when you're forced to put it down, and you have to wait to come back to it, it really heightens your reading experience, especially when you get something that's going to have a lot to speculate about, which I assume this book will. And so then this will also give us a chance to spoil everything to our heart's content, and I am really looking forward to that. So I asked for y'all's input on whether we should start this the week of October 15th or wait until the week of October 22nd. So that responses have been pretty much right down the middle, with people wanting 15th or the 22nd. Now, we do have a couple of people who have already gotten their copy from Libby or their library, and they get the book for 3 weeks, which means that their book is going to be due back, I think, like the 22nd or the 25th. So based on that and the fact that the vote was so even, I am going to go ahead and make the executive decision, if you will, that we are going to start earlier rather than later. That way they can do the entire buddy read with us while still having access to the copy of the book, because that would be terrible if they lost the book, when we're 3 or 4 days out from the end because somebody else had a hold on it, and that's just something that's out of their control. I didn't see anybody who necessarily needed to wait until later in the month. That was just kind of a preference. So if you do need to wait, then don't worry, because that's, part of the charm of this. I hope that when you are able to get to it, when you have the free time, this video will be waiting for you, and it'll be just like I was there with you from the very beginning. In theory, we're testing this, so y'all have to let me know if that's how it plays out. One other thing I noticed while looking at the calendar, I thought, instead of starting on a Sunday the 15th, what we will do is move it to October the 14th, so we could take advantage of the weekend, because why let the weekend go? I'm assuming there will be plenty of people who are going to be trying to work around their work schedule, school schedule. So if we can get that weekend time in, I think we probably should. So I'm going to start reading the book on Friday the 13th, up until the first page break, which I will give you those here in just a moment. That same day on Friday, I will do my video and edit it. And then it will go live. I'll upload it for y'all for Saturday the 14th at noon Central Time. I don't know, daylight standard. I don't know what it is. I'm in Texas. So it'll be at noon, Texas, October 14th, Saturday. That will be when the first video is. And during that video, we will discuss the very beginning of the book up until our first page break. And then every other day will be another video discussing the next segment of our little buddy read until we get to the end of the book. So what I recommend you do is read up into the first page break before you watch my video, because I'm going to be dishing everything. I'm going to be spoiling it left and right, telling you what I think about the characters, what I think is going to happen, just whatever pops in my head, I'm going to spew it out to y'all. And I hope you will do the same in return. But remember, don't go past that page break. And then, we'll have the next day to read, and then we'll come back with another video. So there'll be a day in between where you can get your reading done. If you fall behind, don't worry. You can just, jump back in whenever you're able. I'm just really going to emphasize, please don't comment on anything outside of the pages that will be discussed in the video. And I will have reminders on every video at the beginning, at the end, all of that stuff. Because I don't want it ruined accidentally for anybody at all, including me. Now, to make sure that everybody is actually reading up to the same points, so we'll be on the same section of the book during the videos, during our discussions, we obviously need to sync up our books, and we are going to sync according to mine. The book I have has 494 pages, but we're not using that number because that's including an author's note, acknowledgments, and reading guide, and we don't want those pages. So I'm calculating everything off of 484 pages. You're going to want to check your book, see if you have that at the end of it. If you do, you're going to adjust your end page, the last page of the story. That's going to be important. So I've applied the numbers that Expedition Through Pages came up with for our page breaks and converted it for my book, keeping her percentage rates. I did look because I know at least one person got it through Kindle, and I went ahead and downloaded that. Your version is exactly as mine. 484 is the end of the story. You have the same acknowledgments and all of that. So your page numbers will line up with me. The audiobook, I know somebody is doing the audiobook. That is 17 hours and 2 minutes. I downloaded that through Audible, which, by the way, if you have Prime, that's included free if you want to do the audiobook. It's 17 hours and 2 minutes. I did look at that. According to the table of contents, it didn't say author's note. So I don't know if that's just included with the last chapter or not. And I wasn't going to go to the end of the file to listen because I don't want to ruin the book. So what I did was I just assumed it's not there. And I based yours on 17 hours. So I converted that to minutes and then divided it by 60. Applied the percent, all of that. I have your percentages for you. And I've converted it into times. If anybody else has a different version of the book and you need help with converting it, or if you're not sure, by all means, ask down in the comments. I have no problem figuring out the math for you. I would be glad to do that. And don't forget, we will also have those magical stop paragraphs, and you'll be able to find it. So just read up until you get to that paragraph, even if it lands on the center of the page for you. Just go to that point and once you hit that paragraph, put it aside, watch the video, and then you'll have 24 hours to get to the next one. Okay, the way it stands right now, here is my video schedule. I will start reading the book on February 13th, Friday. Film my video and get it edited. Everything goes well. That video will go up on YouTube Saturday the 14th at noon. Central Time, Texas. I don't know, daylight, I don't know which one we're on. Daylight or standard. It's Texas, and it's noon on Saturday the 14th. And we have 4 page breaks for this book with the potential for a 5th one. So we will go every other day for a video. So it'll be Saturday the 14th, Monday the 16th, Wednesday the 18th, Friday the 20th, Sunday the 22nd, and if we need another one for the end and a wrap up, that would be on Tuesday the 24th. But we might be able to do it with just 5. We'll see as we get towards the end of the book, because Expedition Through Pages thought ahead and gave us an optional page break towards the end in case there's so much going on that we want to have that extra time to talk about it. But we'll determine that as we get deeper into the book and find out how involved the storyline is. Now, to fully embrace the little twists that I've created with like the buddy reads and the book clubs, please try to follow the page breaks and the 24-hour cooldown period. So by waiting, it can really create some unexpected cliffhangers, heighten your excitement for the book. It really changes the reading experience. And I think that'll really come into play when we're all getting together and dishing about the details and speculating down in the comments. Because we'll have that extra time to play with going, I want to get back to it. It just really builds up the anticipation. Plus, it'll give time for the story to sink in. It'll give you some time to maybe ferret out some little details that you might have missed, some foreshadowing if you had just been reading along at your normal pace. And with Stuart Turton, if it's anything like Evelyn Hardcastle, we're going to want that extra speculation time because, you know, this might have layers and layers to it. I don't know. Haven't read it. But I'm assuming we'll really appreciate the slower reading pace. Because what I'm going to do, 14% of the way in on my book is page 68. So we are going to be stopping at the top of page 68. When we reached the line, Crowell's glanced up from the ledger as they entered, then immediately ... So when you see that paragraph, you are going to close your book and put it down until you come and watch the video, gush to your heart's content, and then you will be free to pick up the book and go to the next page break, which I will provide the stop paragraph, our magic text, during the video. So each video will reveal the next video's stop point. I will also put it over in the community tab. That way, if y'all need it, if you're coming late or something like that, or if you want to read ahead, you can. Just keep notes so you don't comment ahead of where everybody is, because we don't want to ruin the reading experience for everybody because you accidentally commented farther than we are within that video. I hope that makes sense. Just in case you want the full list of all of the places we'll be stopping at, our percentages are 14%. In my edition in Kindle, that will mean the top of page 68. Now for the audio, 14% will be at roughly 2 hours and 38 minutes. The second stop will be at 38%. Again, in my book, page 184. 38% will be at 6 hours and 27 minutes. Again, these are estimated times, but this is when you can start keeping an eye out. 63% will be the third stop, and that will come up to page 305. 10 hours and 43 minutes into the book. Our fourth stop will be at 80%, which is page 387, be about 13 hours and 36 minutes. And our optional fifth stop will be at 91%, which is page 440, 15 hours and 28 minutes. So I hope I've made this clear. It's a lot to try to explain, but I think at its core, it's really basic and simple. It's just, yeah, I'm a detail kind of girl, so hopefully I haven't, drowned y'all in details. So I am really excited to do this. The more I think about it, the more hyped I am for it. In fact, I'm supposed to be editing. I forgot what I was editing. Spookopoly. I'm in the middle of editing that, and I walked away from it to film this video and do this instead. So yeah. Welcome to my world. If you have any questions or if anything seems murky to me, please ask. I'm more than happy to answer them for you. Don't forget to look to the community tab for the page break numbers. The first one is going to be 14% of the way in. And here is your magic paragraph that you're looking for when you reach that stop. So as you probably guessed, I have some more editing to do. I'm going to go work on this Spookopoly video, which will be up, either on Tuesday or Wednesday, 2 or 3 days from now. And wow, then we're going to be starting this in a week. We got a week. I got to edit. All right. I hope to see you soon. I can't wait to read this book. And that's it from me from now. Bye, y'all.